Remarrying after 60. 5 truths you must know before saying, I do again. Hello there, dear friends. Today, let's sit down together and have a heartfelt conversation about a topic that touches many of us in our golden years. Remarrying after the age of 60. It's a journey filled with hope, companionship, and yes, a fair share of complexities. As we navigate this path, it's essential to approach it with the wisdom we've gathered over the years, the patience that time has taught us, and the clarity that comes from introspection. 1. Financial realities change after 60. Finances, a subject that might not stir the heart, but certainly demands our attention. When considering remarriage after 60, it's crucial to understand how this union can impact your financial landscape. Many assume that love conquers all, but the intertwining of assets, debts, and financial obligations can be more intricate than anticipated. For instance, remarrying can affect your Social Security benefits, especially if you're receiving them based on a former spouse's record. According to the Social Security Administration, if you remarry before age 60, you may lose eligibility for survivor benefits from a deceased spouse. However, remarrying after 60 generally allows you to retain those benefits. Pensions and retirement accounts also come into play. Some pension plans have specific rules about survivor benefits and remarriage. It's advisable to consult with a financial advisor to understand how your specific plans may be affected. Estate planning is another critical area. Without proper arrangements, your new spouse may have legal claims to your assets, potentially altering the inheritance plans for your children or other beneficiaries. Establishing trusts or updating wills can help ensure that your assets are distributed according to your wishes. 2. Family dynamics can get complicated. Family, the source of our greatest joys and sometimes our deepest challenges. When you remarry later in life, you're not just blending 2 lives, you're merging families, histories, and expectations. Adult children may have mixed feelings about your new relationship. They might worry about changes to family traditions, inheritance, or feel a sense of loyalty to a deceased parent. Open communication is key. Discuss your intentions with your family, listen to their concerns, and reassure them of their place in your life. Grandchildren, too, may need time to adjust to a new family member. Patience and understanding go a long way in easing this transition. Remember, it's not uncommon for family members to have concerns about how a new marriage might affect financial matters. Being transparent and involving them in discussions can help prevent misunderstandings and foster harmony. 3. Emotional expectations are different at this stage in life. Love in our later years is a beautiful thing, but it's different from the love we experienced in our youth. It's less about building a life together from scratch and more about companionship, mutual respect, and shared experiences. By the time we reach our 60s or 70s, we've established routines, habits, and a sense of independence. Introducing a new partner into this well-set life requires adjustments. It's essential to discuss expectations openly. How much time will you spend together? Will you maintain separate residences? How will you handle finances? Past experiences also shape our current relationships. Whether you've been widowed or divorced, those experiences influence how you approach new relationships. Being aware of this and communicating openly with your partner can help build a strong foundation. For legal considerations matter more than you think. Marriage is not just an emotional commitment. It's a legal contract with significant implications. Before remarrying, it's vital to understand how this union affects your legal rights and obligations. Prenuptial agreements can be a practical tool to outline how assets and debts will be handled. They can help protect both parties and ensure clarity in financial matters. Hello, prenup. Updating estate planning documents is also crucial. Wills, trusts, and beneficiary designations should reflect your current wishes and take into account your new spouse and any children from previous relationships. Medical directives and powers of attorney should be reviewed as well. In the event of illness or incapacity, you want to ensure that the person making decisions on your behalf aligns with your preferences. 5. The definition of happiness changes with age. In our younger years, happiness might have been tied to career achievements, raising a family, or acquiring possessions. As we age, our understanding of happiness evolves. It becomes more about peace, contentment, and meaningful connections. Before remarrying, reflect on what happiness means to you now. Are you seeking companionship, shared experiences, or emotional support? Ensure that your new relationship aligns with these desires. Consider lifestyle compatibility as well. Do you enjoy quiet evenings at home while your partner prefers social gatherings? Discussing these preferences can help prevent future conflicts. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to happiness. Some find joy in remarriage, while others prefer maintaining independence or exploring alternative forms of companionship. The key is to choose the path that brings you the most fulfillment. Final thoughts. Remarrying after 60 is a significant decision that requires careful consideration. It's an opportunity to find companionship and joy, but it's essential to approach it with awareness of the financial, familial, emotional, legal, and personal implications. Take the time to have open conversations with your partner, your family, and perhaps most importantly, yourself. I know sometimes we older folks tend to sweep things under the rug, thinking, "Oh, we've been through worse. This is nothing." But darling, don't ignore the red flags just because you're hungry for companionship. Yes, we're older, we're wiser, but that doesn't mean we're immune to making mistakes. And sometimes, just sometimes, we repeat the same ones out of habit or hope. Let's not do that. Let's walk into this chapter with eyes wide open, hearts soft but smart. Now, let me tell you a little story. You know me, I've always got a story. My dear friend Marjorie, bless her heart, she got married again at 71. She met this charming gentleman at a book club. Said he had eyes like Gregory Peck and the manners of a Victorian poet. Well, they dated for about 10 months. He brought her flowers, opened doors, even helped in the garden. But once they tied the knot, oh dear, it turned out he had some rather expensive hobbies. Golf trips, gourmet cooking classes, a little investment in cryptocurrency that went south. Poor Marjorie had to quietly dip into her savings just to keep up with it all. She still says she loves him, but she also says, if I could do it again, I'd keep separate bank accounts and ask a few more questions before saying I do. So let's learn from Marjorie, shall we? Now another thing, darling, and I say this with a full heart and both feet planted in reality. Some people marry after 60 for security, not love. I'm not here to judge that, but it's important to know what the marriage is for. Is it companionship? Is it to share the rent and the roast chicken? Is it to have someone next to you when the lights go out at night? There's no shame in any of that, truly. But you must be honest with yourself and with the other person. Because unspoken expectations? Phew, they're like termites. You won't see the damage until it's deep. Now let's talk about the issue of health, which, like it or not, starts to become part of every decision we make in this season of life. When you marry someone in their 60s or 70s or beyond, you're not just choosing a partner for Sunday strolls or Netflix nights. You're signing up for the whole package. Doctor appointments, physical therapy, maybe even caretaking down the road. Are you prepared for that? Are they prepared for that? Have you had that awkward, necessary conversation? And don't forget the legal stuff. I know it's boring. You'd rather be talking about love letters and sunset picnics. But those things won't help when a medical emergency strikes and you're not listed on their healthcare proxy form. Do you know where their important papers are? Do they know where yours are? Have you talked about burial preferences? Or what should happen if one of you becomes incapacitated? It sounds grim, but it's loving to plan. It's loving to prepare. Let me share something from my own life. I never remarried after my husband passed. There were a few suitors, some sweet, some suspicious. I had coffee with a widower who wore too much cologne and talked about his ex-wife for a full hour. Another one wanted to move in after 2 dates. Can you imagine? I chose to stay single. I have friends. I have my cat. I have my garden and my books, an occasional flirtatious smile at the checkout counter. I'm not lonely, you know. Solitude is not the same as loneliness. But I know women and men who remarried and found real joy, deep friendship. That's what I wish for you, whatever joy looks like in your life. And let's not forget about the living arrangements. That's another hot-button topic. Some people move in together. Some marry but live in separate homes. And more couples nowadays are choosing LAT relationships, living apart together. It works for them. They get the closeness and the independence. They see each other a few times a week, share holidays, take vacations together. But they each keep their own space. For folks who've lived alone for a long time or who've had a difficult marriage before, this can be ideal. We've earned the right to live how we want, haven't we? After all the years of cooking meals, raising kids, changing tires, balancing checkbooks, sitting beside sick beds, and being everything for everyone, it's okay to say, this time, I choose me. This marriage, this partnership, it has to add peace, not problems. It has to enhance your life, not limit it. So, dear heart, here's what I want to take from all this rambling. And yes, I know I've gone on and on, but that's just how I talk these days. Know your finances. Review everything. Talk to a professional. Even if you think you've got it all sorted, do a double check. Talk to your family. Not for their approval, but for their understanding. They're part of your life, too, and your choices ripple outwards. Communicate with your partner about everything. Yes, everything. The ugly bits, the hopeful bits, the uncertain bits. Protect yourself. Legally, emotionally, spiritually. You are worth that protection. And most of all, define what happiness means to you now, not what it meant at 30 or what someone else thinks it should mean. This is your chapter. You hold the pen. Whether you remarry, cohabit, live apart together, or stay gloriously single, make the choice that aligns with your heart and your reality. And remember, no matter your age, you are still deserving of love, respect, laughter, and late-night conversations that make you feel like a teenager again. So go on now, make a cup of tea, take a walk, call an old friend, or smile at a stranger. Love may find you when you least expect it. And if it does, you'll be ready, not with rose-colored glasses, but with clear eyes and a hopeful, brave heart. Now, would you look at that? Bless you for staying with me. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And remember, you're not old, darling. You're seasoned, you're spicy, you're golden. Yellow heart. Now go live boldly.